Push too far. Princess Kate's final warning to Meghan: leave my kids out of this. A new tell-all book is set to take down her family. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the King YouTube channel. Boy, it seems like the royal family and bombshell books really do go together, right? And unfortunately for the Prince and Princess of Wales, it seems like it could be their time in the firing line once again. Ahead of the release of Meghan's unofficial spokesperson Omid Scobie's new book Endgame, it is obvious that Meghan's confidant is taking no prisoners this time. As Woman's Day magazine went to print, early pages of the book began to leak, with some damning details of Prince William and Prince Harry's relationship on full display. Sources claim that Kate is getting ready for even more attacks against her family, and she's worried that it's going to undermine not only her, but also her 3 kids and her extended family. In an excerpt that was shared with People magazine, Scooby-Doo revealed that William sees Harry as a defector, claiming he has been brainwashed by an army of therapists, and he no longer recognizes his own brother following the fallout of Harry's memoir Spare. Omid also reveals that William still feels a huge amount of anger. He feels betrayed and sad about the situation, but he also doesn't agree with the things his brother feels he has done. He feels he has lost Harry and doesn't want to know this version of him. Scooby-Doo also talked about Harry's pain when the Queen passed away, suggesting that Meghan and Harry were left to operate in the dark with no communication from the family, in spite of the fact that William secured a flight with his uncles, Prince Andrew and Prince Edward, and also Edward's wife Sophia, to Balmoral. A source reports Harry was completely by himself on this. William ignored him. He clearly didn't want to see his brother. And whispers are only increasing that Scooby-Doo, in an effort to stand up for his buddy Meghan and settle scores, is going to lay bare secrets about Catherine's ascension to the royal fold, as well as details about her everyday life. It's understandable that Catherine would be worried about this situation. So it's said that her worries are centered around the looming threat of details being revealed about her children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, of whom she is extremely protective. Since as far back as 2017, really, William and Catherine have not had a good relationship with Meghan Markle. First, we heard reports that the heir had expressed doubts to Harry over Meghan's suitability in the firm, considering her past as an aspiring Hollywood actress. But Meghan and Harry's wedding in 2018 was the culmination of the divide between Catherine and Meghan after the Sun claimed that Catherine was reduced to tears after a wedding fitting for Charlotte. Later on, Meghan went on record insisting that in fact it was the other way around, that Catherine allegedly made her cry. We may never know the true story behind that whole situation, but sources claim the incident was the beginning of the end for Catherine and Meghan. With only days before more revelations are laid bare, Catherine can only hope that her kids remain unscathed. Meanwhile, Meghan's favorite henchman, Scooby-Doo, has claimed that the Prince of Wales kept him away from royal engagements for months because he believed that he was Prince Harry's emissary. Scooby-Doo really has lost the plot, I think. I mean, he has been viciously attacking the royal family, and he has been doing Meghan's dirty work. And now he's going to act surprised that William doesn't want him at royal engagements? The problem with Scooby-Doo is he has always been Harry and Meghan's favorite cheerleader. And I'm sorry, scabies, but you associated with the wrong people. You picked the wrong team. He claims that he spoke with a true insider of the younger family. Now, Meghan is older than the Prince and Princess of Wales by a few years. This is such a load of BS. Even if he claims that his reporting is truthful, who is going to believe him? He's already proven himself to be a liar, and he's on the payroll of those other 2 liars who have lied over and over again, even in court. Maybe his book is going to do well. Maybe it's going to become a bestseller, maybe not, but his credibility is gone. What royal reporters or royal watchers associate with him at this point? He's already lost his job at Yahoo UK, and he has become a pariah, just like his 2 favorite people. He's banned from royal events, and I'm sure he barely has any contacts left. Like so many people who chose to associate with Harry and Meghan, he has been markled, and he only has himself to blame for that. In some ways, it is a shame. He probably could have had a successful career, but he decided to go after the royal family. He decided to push Harry and Meghan's side of the story. I guess in the world of scabies and the Harkles, there are 2 kinds of truth. There's mega liar's truth, which is, I forgot, or oh, that doesn't count because, and then there's the real truth, the one the rest of us believe. Nobody in Meghan and Harry's team is capable of the truth, only their truth. and I'm afraid it's too late to change anybody's mind about the royal family. Thanks to the nasty daughter, sister-in-law drawing them into the global spotlight, the royal family has actually never been more famous or more respected. Just like his she-boss, Scooby-Doo lives in delusions of grandeur, where he's a lot more important and influential than what reality dictates. He and Meghan are pathetic. They're scurrying around the edges of the globe from the royal family. They're like a couple of cockroaches. They are so desperate for the spotlight, but the truth is they can't handle the spotlight. It's too much for their fragile, weak characters. The light they're after is going to focus on them as the sunlight that comes through a magnifying glass, like when you aim it at a cockroach and then it gets burned. Who cares what scabies that idiot has to say? Once the nonsense is published, he can go crawl back under that rock where he came from. I think for me, the most absurd thing about Scooby-Doo is how he loves to talk about Meghan's supposed racist treatment and how she's a proud woman of color. But when you look at both Scabies and Meghan Markle, you can see they did everything they could to erase their own ethnic backgrounds. They did away with anything that hints at them being people of color. The two of them are pathetic. And they didn't appreciate being made fools of, but they confirmed William and Charles and Anne's suspicions where these leaks were coming from. They set a bait trap, and they took it, and they made themselves look like absolute fools. If anybody in the royal court has loose lips offside and chooses the wrong side, then I'm sorry, but they have no business whatsoever working for the crown. They need to be weeded out. Confidentiality goes both ways. And remember what they say, loose lips sink ships. I think at this point, we're all just tired of hearing about the entire Sussex saga. We can just leave them to it. There are way more important things to think about than what they have to say, what they do, what they look like. I'm just bored with the nonsense the media puts out about them. It's just a constant rehashing in different guises about exactly the same thing. I guess it sells magazines and newspapers, but still, at what point is the media finally going to move on? Another thing is, I do not like seeing Harry and Meghan's photos in any article about the royal family. They're not royalty anymore, they're just a couple of ordinary citizens. And what happened to Harry being called just Harry? He doesn't want to give up anything now. He just wants to hang on. At this point, I think Harry is just as delusional as that woman he married. Nobody had ever heard of her before. Meghan and Scabies are just a couple of pathetic losers who latched on to a dumb prince looking to make as much money as they possibly could before he cracked up. I guess they're waiting for their endgame for sure. And you, do you agree with me? Please tell me your opinion below in the comments. If you think my video is useful, don't be afraid to like and share it with anybody else who would enjoy it too. And don't be afraid to click the subscribe button to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in, have a lovely weekend, and we'll be back to see you all tomorrow.